welcome to another episode of Prescription for Life. My name is Linda Golick, and I am so thrilled to be filming on location today. We have a very special thing going on in our region. We are at the brand new Children Adolescent Center, and I am joined by Jamie Hagenow-Sikora, who is a team leader in pediatrics and has been implementing this whole beautiful construction. Thank you, Jamie, for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So why don't you introduce yourself to our audience and tell them a little bit about your role with this whole exciting center.
Yeah, so as we said, my name is Jamie Hagenow-Sikora. I'm the team leader of pediatric specialties and primary care for the Children and Adolescent Center. So I've been doing this with Bellin now for about 5 years. So the construction started about 4 years ago when this all started as just a concept. And now here we are getting ready to actually let it run for our community.
Yeah. So I heard that you actually had a significant health condition as a child, and that's part of what makes this even more meaningful for you. Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, no, like if you ask most of us in healthcare, right, most of us in healthcare have a reason that we're here, like whether that is our family had cancer or like somebody in the family had something significant happen. So most of us have some reason that we're here. It's not for the late nights, it's not for the evenings, like there's something else that's normally that the reason that we are in healthcare. So mine started in kindergarten, right? Like I was a medically complex child and found out that I had a rare kidney disease when I was young. And like most people, you have a wonderful experience in healthcare and you want to give back. And while I've had so many people in healthcare that were phenomenal to me as a child, I had a horrible experience one time too. And I said at that point is like when the light bulb clicked and I walked out of that hospital that day. And I told my parents, I said, I'm going to work in healthcare and I will never let a child experience what I did today. So the building is personal. This is very personal to me. My parents were dairy farmers, so we didn't have PTO, we didn't have FMLA. So how did my parents figure out how to get me down to Milwaukee and Madison when I needed those visits? I seen my parents hide their tears in the side bedroom when they didn't want a child to know that was going on. So now to kind of have this complex, comprehensive care here that parents can have that quick hour visit versus 3 hours down to Madison, 2 hours down to Milwaukee, what have you. So yeah, this is very personal to me, and I know exactly what these kids and these families are going through.
Do you remember what age you were when you made that declaration? Like, I'm going to go into healthcare. Do you remember about
Yeah,
how
it was
old
second
you were?
grade. It was almost like this time of the month too, because I was just becoming a second grader.
Okay.
So I won't give you the year because I'll give away my age. But like, so it was my going into second grade year that I had that experience, and I was like, under my watch, if I can control how a child is treated in healthcare, it won't have that same experience twice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love to hear that.
Yeah.
So tell us more about why is now such an important time to build something like this, to bring this to our community? Like, why did Emplify Health, Bellin, Children's all decide to collaborate on this effort?
Yeah, so our kiddos need this more now than ever, right? Like, obviously, I could have used this how many years ago? Like, my transplant was almost 30 years ago. Like, I could have used a building like this 30 years ago. Which all of our adults can all say that, like, I wish we had this. I wish we had this. And it's turning that wish into a reality. Like, we actually now can do this. And our kiddos need comprehensive care in one location. So in this building, we counted the other day that you could have up to 16 appointments at one location if you wanted to at one time. So we can take care of everything from general pediatrics to adolescent medicine, to mental health, and then specialties, to therapies, like all in one building. And we know that like the least amount of disruptive that we have to a child's normal routine actually is better for them, better for their health, their mental health well-being, the parents. So if we can have it as a one-stop shop, that is so much more better than having them run all over town, and it can just be in one building.
So tell us what is special and unique about this building. Like, obviously right now we're seated in front of the bubble wall, which is so super cool and so engaging for adults and children.
It is.
Right? But how is this building designed? What is special about it that really you will see nowhere else other than here?
Yeah, so we broke the mold on healthcare, right? Like, and we are very blessed and honored that Emplify Health left us do this, because it wasn't a typical healthcare building. It's not typical for us to do these things behind the doors. Like, yes, you're going to see bells and whistles always at the front of healthcare. But once you go into exam rooms, once you go behind that wall, like, things just changed a little bit in healthcare today. In this building, we have kept those unique features flowing, no pun intended there, guys, on the bubbles, right? So, like, there's bubble tubes in the lab. So when a child is getting their labs done, you know there needs to be a distraction. Like, so rather than concentrating what's going on, maybe then that child can look at the bubble tube that's on the left, or there's a magnification that's on the right side of the wall that shows them the jungle, or it shows them an ocean, that they can look at those pictures. So again, like, it gives them that distraction. Look left, look right. You don't have to concentrate on necessarily what's going on if you don't want to. You're going to see then the themes throughout the whole building, right? Like, these themes were picked by our adolescents, by our kiddos, by our families. Like, they had input in this building. We joke, but it's not a joke. Like, every seat that we have in this building, adolescents and parents sat in these. Like, they told us that that seat is going to be comfortable, that they like that. Like, literally, we say butts in seats. Butts happened in these seats before we bought them. We have a playground. Like, who in healthcare has a playground that we get to use for therapy? Like, that we actually have an outdoor, all-inclusive playground that we get to take kiddos out there, because, again, we know if we take a kiddo and let them in their element, you're going to have a better therapy session. You're going to be able to get more out of that session. So some of these kiddos have had post-traumatic stress. They've had anxiety. They've had bullying. Rather than sitting necessarily kind of having that interrogation feel, let them be in their element and go outside and onto the playground. You're just going to get more out of that. So we have a playground. We have a kitchen. Like, again, who has a kitchen in healthcare, right? Like, well, we know that bridging that gap from into independence adulthood is a struggle that we have for some of our autistic kiddos. So now we have a full skills lab to help teach those kiddos how to cook, how to clean, how to do the dishes, how to do the laundry, without necessarily trying to burn the house down or having, you know, the dishwasher overflow because we put too much detergent in it. Like, those pieces have now kept going throughout the entire building.
Just so amazing. Such amazing things. So I also heard that you had a very special patient come and test out everything to make sure that it was child approved. Tell me about that experience.
Yes, so this little kiddo, we're going to call him M. So he literally started with Bellin almost the same time that I did at that point. So this kiddo used to come in and he would knock on my office door. So he used to be a patient over at East De Pere, and he would come for therapy, and he would knock on my door, and he would come and lay on the floor with me. At that point, I was laying on the floor with blueprints, putting where our data and outlets and all the things are, and M would lay there, and he would actually color alongside me as I was working on blueprints, and he was working on his blueprint, right? So he's now 4, and we do all the different marketing things, but at that point, I'd asked marketing, I said, can we see the building through the lens of a child? Like, can we just step back? And we've done all these things, but, like, does it really make a difference? Like, we think it does, but, like, can we test it? So M is a 4-year-old who has autism, has limited speech mobility. So you're going to get raw emotion, right? There is no coaching that's going on with this child. There's no coaching that's going on with any 4-year-old. Let's just be honest. Right? They're going to tell you what they really want. They're going to tell you. So we brought him in, and we left him wear a GoPro from the exterior of the building, and he came through, and, like, just the pure giggle that he had when he came to the bubble wall. Because, like, as you can imagine, to get the bubble wall healthcare quality was a little bit of a chore, but here we are. And for him to come here, and he stood on it, and he just watched the bubbles, and he giggled, and just, like, you could tell he was at peace. The graphics, he ran through the graphics, and he ran his hands up and down every graphic, and, like, he just looked at it intently. So you knew, like, that it actually caught his attention. It caught him with the color scheme and everything that was there. It was just that pure emotion that he showed us. The bathrooms are set up for, they're an adult toilet, a kid's toilet, adult sink, and a kiddo's sink. Like, and he could actually wash his own hands, which the parents were just in awe of. That he actually has an all-inclusive. Like, this is for him, meant for that child too. So he was here. He ran this building through and through. Like, we left it because we're like, ultimately, this is the community's building, right? Like, we get to be a chapter in our community's book. So we left him run this book and go everywhere. And if he could break something, then we knew we had to fix it. Like, that was the purpose.
Right.
So it took the parents a little bit because at first they're like, don't touch that. I'm like, no, please do. Like, please do. Like,
Absolutely.
touch it. So yes, he ran through the whole building, loved the playground, as you can imagine.
That's so cool. So cool. So kid approved.
Kid approved.
Tested, kid approved, all checks, right? All good.
Yep.
So what do you think is going to be the impact, like on our community, on our populations that we serve? What will be the impact by having this in this space?
Yeah, so the impact is going to be completely unmeasurable at this point of like, because we don't even know how many families we can affect. We know the families that we plan to affect, that we plan to be able to bring over. However, there's so many that are just unknowns in the community. Evolve used to be in the community, and it was for disordered eating, and they quickly closed their doors. So all of a sudden, the entire eating disorder population had no place to go for therapy and treatment. And all of a sudden, our adolescent medicine started that program and picked up that disordered eating program. And now we're looking at making a comprehensive approach for all of our disordered eating families that would include mental health, a registered dietitian, an RN, the provider, and they're just going to get that comprehensive care. So I don't even think we knew that was a need until things happen in the community, shifts happen, that we then responded to that need. So I mean, I think there's so many of these that are out there that we're going to be able to respond to now because we have the resources.
You know, I just think of one big one, just the potential of people not having to drive as far to get their care with their children. So not having to go all the way to Milwaukee or all the way to Madison or all the way to the Twin Cities, you know, whatever that may be, that they may be able to get the care that those children need. And we all know we don't want a 4-year-old in a car for longer than that is necessary. So just the time savings and the convenience of having care close to home is just so huge for so many of our families.
Absolutely. Like if I just think of even my childhood of like, if I could calculate how many hours that we spent in the car going down to Madison, Milwaukee, like that I was pulled out of school, that I had to make up time after wherever, like, and just in my own head of like how many times with my transplant did I spend on the road with my parents, and now being able to just have that care local and close, and also then high quality care, right? Like you can get those labs done from a person who knows pediatrics and adolescents, knows some of those techniques, knows some of those distractions, that you can just have it done locally versus having to necessarily drive maybe to the Madisons, Milwaukees, and like you said.
So how can someone learn more about this center, or even better, if they really want their child or their adolescent to be seen here? Like, where do they go? Who do they call? Where do they start?
Yeah, so they can go to our website. They can go to the Bellin website right now, which obviously is linking up with also the Emplify Health website. And then underneath there, they can search for the Children Adolescent Center, and all of our information will show up there. We have the phone number listed on the website. It ends in peds, as a pun intended, right? So it ends in the end of peds. But the best thing also is we have one phone number. We knew that like sometimes when you get a bigger building, every healthcare organization does it, right? And we all of a sudden have the parents push 1 for this, push 2 for that, push 3. This building doesn't. You call one number and a human's going to answer you, and a human's going to take care of you. So it's that one-stop shop versus waiting to go through the entire phone tree.
Perfect. Well, Jamie, I know you are so busy getting this building going, so I so appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Is there anything else that you wanted to add that we didn't get to talk about today?
August 20th, there is an open house for the entire public that is coming up. So it's going to run from 4 to 7. So there will be plenty of activities. They're going to get the sneak peek of the building. You get to actually see some of the artwork that is here. We didn't even talk about the artwork, actually, right? Like, all of the artwork is done by our kids and our families in the communities. So you have artwork that has been ranging from the age of 4 to 21 that is in the building. And we're going to have a sneak peek for those kids that they can bring grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles and go find their artwork. I don't think anybody understands the magnitude that the artwork, all of these kiddos submitted artwork on either an 8 by 11 sheet or a 10 by 11 sheet. And now it's my entire wingspan, right? Like, so I'm not the tallest person, but like my wingspan is still like a 4-foot wingspan.
Sure.
So these are now over 4 feet. So all of those features they'll be able to see at the open house, while also getting to meet some of the amazing teams that are going to be here.
So amazing. So amazing. Well, Jamie, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be here today. Really an exciting time for our community to have this available. Just so excited to see how the community is able to utilize it and get the care they need.
Absolutely. Like the impact is for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us today. We also want to thank the Bellin Health Foundation. This building could not be possible without the partnership of them and the work that they've done to bring extra things to the building. So we thank them. And if you want to get involved in giving, you can also contact the Bellin Health Foundation. So thanks for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, share this podcast, and we'll see you next time.